Supreme Court will be releasing more opinions, wrapping up their work for this term, which started back in October. The decisions for 7 cases remain, carrying massive impacts for people living all across the country, ranging from birthright citizenship to transgender athletes. Joining us now to sum all this up, Hamline University political science professor and legal studies professor David Schultz. David, good to see you. As always, we know that the Supreme Court receives, tens of thousands of petitions requesting their review each year. They get it down to 60. Now they're at 7, and they're supposed to wrap this up by the end of June. Is this a lot or little to be left with at this point?
Well, generally, you're right. It's about 8,000 to 10,000 requests for cases to be heard. They're doing about 60 decisions a year. They've released 40 to 45. They generally finish up by the end of June, and they're a little bit behind schedule right now. And I think in part because some of the decisions that are still outstanding are probably hugely controversial, and I would not be surprised if it's a divided court. And so oftentimes they wait till the end of the term to release the biggest ones, and then almost like literally get out of Dodge at the end of the term and when it's all done. So I suspect the same thing is going on here. Controversial cases, and they're going to wait till the end of the term to release them.
And yeah, you touched on some of those. I mean, ranging from immigration policy, civil rights, transgender athletes, campaign finance. I mean, so many of these are so extremely complicated. What if, and I hate to play the what if, but what if they can't come to a decision? Is that even an option?
It's possible. There's been occasions in the past with the Supreme Court where they're so divided or they're just not sure what to do that they hold it over to the next term and have a new round of oral arguments. The most famous case where that happened is 1953, 1954, Brown versus the Board of Education, which was the case all about desegregation of schools. Because sometimes on some decisions, they also want to be able to speak with one unanimous voice. And they may try to, Chief Justice Roberts might try to say, okay, let's re-argue this and see if we can get some kind of consensus. So it is possible. I mean, the end of June deadline, I'm going to call it is a semi-soft or semi-hard. I'm not sure what it's going to deadline that they're supposed to finish, but sometimes they don't.
From your legal expertise perspective, of these 7 being so complicated, do you see any of them as being the most complicated?
Boy, the most complicated, I think, is the transgender athletes one, because right now the direction of American law has been to interpret Title IX, which is meant to protect women against discrimination in education, has been more consistent with allowing transgender athletes to participate in women's sports. The Trump administration is asking for a reversal of that. It's also asking the court to say that states can't protect transgender individuals in athletics. This is a very complicated case that raises questions of civil rights. It raises questions of federalism. I think that's the hardest of all the cases that's out there right now, and of which I think for many people raises all types of interesting questions, not just about transgender issues, but also about sex discrimination in higher education.
Yeah, people across the country are watching these closely to see what the court ultimately decides. I know in a few minutes on Fox News Sunday, they're going to be talking about a lot of this as well. All right, Professor Schultz, thank you as always. We appreciate you.
My pleasure. Thank you, Leah.
Thank you.